I'm Dave. I'm going to lead you through this module of the seated positions and the cueing and the alignments. So what you will need during these sequences is a yoga belt and a yoga block, because what I'd like to do is firstly show you the posture itself, the asana itself, but then show you how you would maybe teach that to a beginner or somebody with tight hips. Okay, so if you can make sure you've got your yoga block and your yoga belt, we'll get started. West side stretch. Okay, so again, this is very much like you want to be starting like we were starting in staff pose. So that kind of active legs, that keeps the legs nice and strong, the lifting up of the muscles away from the tailbone, and then that elevation between just below the belly button and the bottom of the sternum helps take that out of the back, and then the hands are at the heart space. So you're always thinking about that lifting up through the spine. Keep the bandhas are engaged, so Mula and Uddiyana engaged. Inhale, reach up, and then exhale, folding forward, but you keep that reach through the fingertips, so use all of the arms, so the middle of the back, reach, and then fold. So you can see how the head is still lifted, because I want to keep this length on the front, and then I can lift a little again. So as the tummy comes in, I can exhale, and all the time I'm moving forward towards my feet. I don't want to be rolling down through the spine. I want to lift, and then with that elevation in the chest and that drawing in of the tummy, it creates the space, and then that length from the middle of the back to create the length in the arms. Inhale, lift, and exhale, fold forward. So the forward bend, the crown of the head is moving towards the feet. And remember, on an inhale, you can always lift, find a little bit of space, and exhale, allow yourself to relax into that pose. So if you had a beginner in your class, or somebody who had lower back pain, we create the yoga belt, and then yoga block. So we'll sit up onto the block, and again you want to be slightly forward onto that block. So the objective of the pose is not to sort of be able to get your hands to your feet and your head on your knees. The objective of the pose is to feel where you are in that pose and then try and relax into it. So there is no final place, or everybody is wherever they are in their practice. So again, if you're reaching for the feet and you're tight in the hamstrings, maybe tight in the lower back, the belt, pop the belt around the feet, and then let it sit between the legs. So what this does is it just takes that little lift into the pelvis, helps the pelvis tip forward, supports the spine a little, and just makes the whole experience for a beginner or somebody who's really tight. So runners and people who ride horses, race walkers, anybody who walks long distances, all of these things sort of shorten the hamstring. So what that does is it can tip the pelvis down. So a lot of people will need an assistance of a yoga block, and just for a period of time. So you're up on the yoga block, encourage lift the chest, inhale, reach up, exhale, fold forward, take a hold of your belt, lift the chest, and then exhale. So once you get to the point of where your knees want to bend like this, lift up a little, bring the feet to the floor, and then just try and relax on an inhale, lift maybe. You might be able to walk the hands down towards the feet, and exhale. You see how my head is moving towards my toes. And the reason why they call it west side stretch is because the back of the body is the west and the front of the body is the east. So it's that big stretch right from the heels all the way up and all the way round, hence the west side stretch. So as you're coming up, you're always coming up on an inhale. So if you've been down like this, you want to say inhale, come up. And what happens is the inhale fills the lungs up and just helps the spine come back up to seated. Okay, so west side stretch. Namaste.
Okay. Can you smile?